Hope Springs is generally an okay film, but I will admit that had the casting been different, I might not have liked it as much. This was released in 2012. It's directed by David Frankel. It's written by Vanessa Taylor, with a cast including Meryl Streep, Tommy Lee Jones, Steve Carell, and various others. And Meryl Streep, Steve Carell, very, very excited. I knew there would at least be some elements that I enjoyed. And it's not so much that it's a bad film, but it is very slow. And I do think there's an audience for it. But it's not a film I'd want to watch again. It's about a couple who have been married for decades and they're now attending counselling. And Letterboxd described it as, and I quote, a week-long counselling session. And I did wonder, going into it, if that would be the film, if it would basically just be the counselling sessions. But thankfully, while a bulk of it is at the therapy sessions, we do have a lot of other scenes around about it to give it a bit more better pacing. Obviously, it flows better when we have other scenes to move the narrative forward. We're not just constantly in the therapist's office. So I think they made the right decision there with a bit of balance, and it does work really well, and it also allows us some character development outside of the therapy sessions. That being said, while there are those benefits, it is very, very slow. And I didn't expect it to be a tremendously quick film based on the premise, but at the same time, I didn't find it to be that engaging. I would say it is almost definitely 100% better as background company, or something to watch if you're maybe tired and you're not really looking for something that requires a lot of engagement. But if you're looking for something to sit down and become fully immersed in, I don't think it's going to hold your attention that well. I don't think it's engaging enough, unless you are going through a similar situation as the protagonists, in which case you might actually get a lot out of it. There could be a lot of that the story has to offer for you personally, but if not, if there's not that relatability there, I really don't think it's that engaging. But as background company, sure, it's absolutely fine. I do think they set out to tell a story in a specific way, and I think they achieved that. And we do have very well written characters. The performances are obviously very good. The relationship feels realistic. The locations are great. The therapist's office I like. I like the angles they used for that. Some of the music is good, but some of it seemed a little out of place, but in general it's okay. There are a lot of things that were done right, and in theory I wouldn't say anything was done wrong. As I said, I feel like this is the way they wanted to tell the story. This is the pacing they wanted to have to tell the story. But it does mean, in my opinion, that it's not going to be the most exciting, engaging experience, unless, again, there is that element of relatability. So I don't think it did anything wrong. I just don't think it will appeal to many people. And I don't think it's going to be the most fascinating or engaging experience. But again, background company or just as something easy to watch, absolutely give it a go. There are many things that are interesting, things that are done really well. The dialogue is good, the characters are good, the performances are good. As I said, had we had a different cast, had we not had Meryl Streep and Steve Carell, let's say they were played by actors whose work I wasn't familiar with, I would have liked it a little bit less. Not because those actors would have done a bad job, but because for me that was definitely a pull factor and something that kept me a little bit more engaged. It's worth giving a go if you're curious. You might enjoy it more than I did. You might find it more interesting than I did. Realistically, there's nothing wrong with it. I just don't think it's going to appeal to as many people as perhaps it could have done had they taken a different approach, had the pacing been a little bit different. But ultimately, Hope Springs is not a bad film. And if you're curious, then I guess I'm happy to recommend it.